Hello, welcome to yet another vlog video of today. And today is the official Japanese release of Kingdom Hearts 3. So in other words, I am very scared to be on the internet because the American copy of the game is not coming out until like 5 days from now. 4 days because my local game store is having a 9 p.m. release, which is gonna be great. Don't have to stand out in the cold in the middle of winter like I did for Smash. But it is coming out in 9 p.m. It's going to be good. It's going to be great. Going to have the game. Going to play it. It's going to be great. I just wish that there wasn't like 4 days between the English and Japanese release. It's not like a Persona 5 situation where they need the localization money to finish the localization, or the money from the original release to finish the localization. No, this is literally like 4 days, like 4 days, depending on your international dateline. It's just like so stupid. Why is this like this? It's only Japan that has a different release date. Every other place in the world has a worldwide release date, and it's just like why? Why? It's not even like 3 months. It's not even like a half a year or anything like that. It's literally 5 days. Like, come on. It's hard enough dodging spoilers as it is with the leak copy that came out back in December. But now, since it's an official copy that's out today, guess what? People are not going to have as many qualms about sharing spoilers now. I already got spoiled on a potential Keyblade in the game, which I'm not going to even say its name. I just saw it when I was trying to look up if there was going to be a midnight release. So yeah, I got spoiled there. I think it's just one of the various world Keyblades, but still, that is so dumb. That is so dumb. And people are not going to... Because like I said, since now there's the official release... It's out now, so they can share wherever they feel like, and Square can only press them so hard. With a leak copy, people can at least say who got the leak copy. It's like, okay, this is literally a month early, so they're not going to share it that much. But with an official release, that information is now officially out. We're probably not going to get too many spoilers until at least tomorrow, where people actually beaten the game or gotten a fair amount through and stuff like that, but it just bothers me. It bothers me a lot. Yeah, so I'm gonna be kind of like gonna be trying to be making videos the next couple of days because I don't want to be as unproductive I was like right before Smash was released. And I know why I'm gonna be playing Kingdom Hearts. I'm gonna be like unproductive as hell. I'm just not gonna do anything but play that game because oh man, that's gonna be amazing. But I need some production going on, so yeah, that's the thing. But anyway, things I've been doing. I've been playing more Tales of Berseria. I've been really enjoying the story again. That ending, man, that ending bothers me. It bothers me a lot. Because it's literally the most last second thing in the game that there's... Like, I was baffled when I first saw the ending to Berseria, but... as time went on, and I just let stew in my head, and it's like, this is such a betrayal to the emotional climax of the story. Like, technically, you can maybe justify it's like, oh, yeah, this is technically within Velvet's character, but it just seems so forced. It feels unearned, is the issue, in my opinion. It feels really unearned. If they framed it differently, like, it was like the scenario was the exact same, but Velvet said different things to Fee, and it was just technically a different scenario and stuff like that. Just technically, just like, you know, how it's portrayed mainly. I think it could have been fine. Would have been the best ending, but they still need to explain why Velvet isn't around if she stays a demon in Cisteria and stuff like that, because there will be very good reasons why she would be doing stuff in Cisteria and affecting the main plot if she was still around if she was still a demon and stuff like that. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, that's been fun. I've been avoiding playing the Kingdom Hearts collections, which I do have. I have the PS4 version of the first two collections digitally because I didn't like its box art, and I already had the two boxes already. But I did get the 2.81 box art. But point is that I didn't want to play through the games, in like specifically 2, because I really like 2's combat system. I just wish the game was built a little bit more around it, because the movement feels great. The Cave of Remembrance is pretty fun to go through because, you know, there's platforming and the game feels good with platforming. I know 3 is not going to feel like 2, so I don't want to like have the muscle memory from 2 in my hands at the moment. So I'm just playing for other action RPGs like Tales of Berseria. I've been marathoning a lot of Tales games. Like, I beat Vesperia, then I finally finished Zestiria on Steam. There's a lot of years. And now I'm playing for Berseria, now with the full context of the game of Zestiria. I watched the anime, so I seen that. But, like, I was both simultaneously surprised how much they changed in terms of assets and stuff like that, and how many things were the same. It was a lot more interesting seeing what the game was doing, and how different it was from the anime. Like, the story of the game is, not the best. The anime, it still has some of the same issues as the game. Like, you know, the good two-shoe nature of Saray being really boring, and he's not that much different, but, how they treated Aisha in the anime is infinitely better than in the games, especially when you compare it to the DLC, which I played all of 20 minutes of and put it down because, oh man, I hate both Rose and is it Aisha or Aisha? I think it's Aisha. Yeah, not Aisha. I'm bad with names. I'm really bad with names. But yeah, it's with her, she's handled so badly, and they just like made Rose a total jerk. They made her kind of a jerk, and it's like, oh, I don't like any of these characters anymore. And it's like, you just kind of want like to smack both of them. It's like, just say it, just talk like human beings. It's like they're both being complete jerks, and it was so infuriating to watch. It was bad. Like, I didn't think it was that bad considering how well the anime treated Alicia. But holy crap, it became so mean-spirited in the DLC, and it's just like, what? Yeah. But Edna is probably my second or third favorite character in Zestiria and Berseria, just as a whole. Like, she single-handedly saves that troop of characters from being completely insufferable and bland. Like, Edna is awesome. And considering Aizen's also part of my top 3, that's also probably makes sense. I'd say my top 4 in no particular order is Velvet, Magilu, Aizen, and Edna, which are my 4 favorite characters from those 2 games. But yeah, it's just, like, if you're interested in Tales of games, do not play Zestiria. Like, just watch the anime. It's infinitely better, and it connects better back to Berseria. There's still like hints and references that the games still have between each other and stuff like that, and I'm probably guessing that they're still keeping the game as canon, but I really do wish that they will say the anime of Zestiria is more canon than the actual game, because oh man, there's a few things in the anime I think they could have left unchanged. Like, what happened with Aizen in the game, like he's a super boss because you get turned into a dragon and you kill him, which is kind of sad. I wish the game handled it a little bit more with meaning, but that was obviously before Bethesda came out. It made Aizen like super important. I'm not sure if Aizen was going to be super important, like major party member, because it seemed like Zavid was going to be a party member in the original plans for Bethesda. But honestly, Bethesda, if I remember correctly, had a rewrite after the backlash of Cisteria, because they made one thing I do know is that they put Velvet more into the spotlight compared to her role before the backlash. Because if I remember correctly, there was always plans to make 2 games that take place in that world, especially if you play Cisteria and with how a lot of the plot turns out and how much like certain characters do not get developed in ways. Like Zavid is just kind of there, honestly. Like he's a funny character. He's kind of a jerk, but he's still kind of funny. But there's obviously a lot of mystery behind him and his promise with Maltelis and Aizen, which is obviously meant to be answered in Bethesda. So, but that ends up, I think, kind of hurting Cisteria more, because you can clearly tell that some things were rewritten. Things don't connect as well as they honestly should. Like, the Maven poet girl from Cisteria, like, it's not confirmed, if I remember correctly, if that is indeed Maggie Lou. But it's heavily implied to be, and I think there would have been a stronger connection if Bethesda wasn't rewritten. Honestly, there's no mention of Velvet Crow or the First Lord Calamity in the original game. Zavid never talks about... Well, I guess it would make sense that he never talks about that he... Like, because his companions that he talks about in Cisteria is supposed to be implied to be the party of Bethesda. But obviously he's not a main party member in that. So, I guess it could theoretically still refer to a different group of characters. And, yeah, with, like, I forget, does Dezel appear at all in Bethesda? Because we know that Dezel learned his fighting style from Zavid and stuff. I forget. I didn't do every single side quest in Bethesda. I might just be forgetting. I'm replaying it now. Right now I'm at the second visit of the prison island, where we learned that the hawk, that the prince has in this hawkery, hobby, is Ethereum and all that. Yeah, so honestly there's a lot more confusing aspects to it, because again Bethesda was partially rewritten from what I heard. To an extent I'm not entirely sure. I would like to see like the original script for Bethesda, just out of curiosity. Because I'm interested in what kind of changes to the writing that they exactly did and how things were originally supposed to play out and how much things would have connected better. Yeah, I should look that up after this. But anyway, yeah. So, yeah, but I do recommend Bethesda. Like, if you're gonna get into like Cisteria and Bethesda specifically in the Tales games, if you're a Tales fan who haven't played them, or someone who's looking in getting into Tales games and want to start with the more recent titles, start with Bethesda first, because I think it actually, if you play Bethesda first, I think it makes Cisteria the game more interesting. To see it in reverse or in chronological order rather than release order, because technically Cisteria spoils a few things. In Bethesda, they obviously keep certain things a secret, because otherwise you would be entirely spoiled by certain aspects of Cisteria's story. But it honestly, to me, it makes Zavid more interesting in Cisteria, because otherwise he's just kind of a cocky pervert. Because he hits on the ladies, like, and he has no qualms with killing and stuff like that. And in Bethesda, he has those qualms with killing. In fact, his creed is to never to kill. That's his thing. So it's more interesting seeing how he gets to that point in Cisteria, first before you actually meet him in Cisteria. So yeah. So play Patherzia first, then watch the anime. Or play Cisteria. Like, you can do either. But Cisteria does also have gameplay issues. Like, to me, my major issue with Cisteria is that it tries to streamline a lot of things in the Tales games, which you do see in Patherzia, and which I think it does infinitely better. But it also makes a lot of aspects of it kind of overly complicated, like the ability system and the random drops of the abilities, and the fact that it tries to eliminate the issue of the need for grinding for character levels. Because in a lot of RPGs, oftentimes you're over-leveled or under-leveled, and usually being under-leveled kind of sucks, and you have to grind for levels and stuff like that. But even the game warns you that you should prepare gear first over levels because it has a bigger effect, in which it does. But the problem is that gear have random abilities aside from like one ability, from what I can tell. So because of that, you don't end up farming for levels, but now you farm for gear, which gets really annoying. Because you also have to upgrade gear by fusing similar gears together, like the same kind of gear, like you fuse void rings with other void rings. But that also can affect how the abilities are on it, because if they're in the same slot, that can change the ability, and then you have to eventually either change it back or it's more nonsense than it's worth. So it ends up making a confusing system that's not very straightforward, while still needing to farm, because the final boss of Cisteria, even on simple, has a really stupid stat check moment. 4 stat check moments where you have to damage the boss when he's casting Indignation, and then you have to like damage him when he starts that enough to stagger him, and that damage requirement without proper dragon gear, because he's a dragon type boss in his species, it's really hard to do enough damage because levels don't affect your stats that much. And if you don't damage him enough, he literally wipes your entire party with a full arena wide blast. And you have to do this 4 times, and it gets stricter every single time. And then the last time, your other human party member can't armorize, so they don't do enough damage. And you don't have a other Seraph to work out with. It's like, it's so dumb. It's like, it's a really stupid stat check, and it just kills the flow of the fight. Like, the final phase is pretty easy, but like the first 2 phases are really dumb before the dragon phase. Because in the second phase, in the first phase, I forget if it happens a lot in the first phase, but the first phase is fast enough. But the second phase, if you're positioned wrong, you can get True Lion Roared and instantly get full on KO'd because it will end up killing. It can potentially hit all 4 party members, even if you're completely split. And he can just do it out at any attack. And it does like 20k damage. It's so dumb. I hate it. Why did they do that? So you gotta and he can also summon enemies and be super armored while he's trying to summon them. Though if you attack him enough, I think you prevent him from doing it, even if he's in the super armor state. But still, it's like, it's just so inherently frustrating. You know, at least with other Tales of bosses, like, one thing I really don't like about Tales bosses, in general, they're usually some of the worst parts of Tales games, is that they can just wing out mystic arts. Especially final bosses. They have a really bad habit of making final bosses have screen-wide mystic arts. At least in those games, they have the mercy of at least leaving you with 1 HP when it comes to final bosses. But other bosses, no, they just straight up one-shot you at times. Even if you're on par level. And it's just so dumb. They can even do it out of nothing. As long as they're in over limit, they can do it out of nothing at times, depending on the game. And it's like, it's so annoying. Like, why? Like, why? It's so dumb. So yeah, basically, back to the whole too streamlined for its own good is that it replaces level grinding with gear grinding, which gets really annoying. Like, you can mitigate some of that by setting your Norman for an area and stuff like that, but the Norman with the dragon thing is kind of off in a weird corner in one of the later dungeons. So it's not like you can get him early and just slowly grind up for the dragon gear. And you have to have similar gear to do it with each other. So it's like, whatever. It's like, even on simple mode, the damage requirement's dumb. It's dumb. I'm very salty, as you can tell. I'm very salty. I really don't like Cisteria. Like, the most interesting thing about Cisteria that it allowed us to get Berthursia. So there's that. That's the most interesting thing about it. Finish my coffee. How long have I been recording? About 20 minutes of me just kind of rambling. I guess that's what kind of vlogs are and stuff. But yeah. If I had more money, I probably would buy the Japanese version of Kingdom Hearts digitally, so I can start playing it and trying to guess what the hell's going on. That would be fun. I wonder if you can do that with an American PayPal. I would just have to make a Japanese account. So, yeah. But yeah, that's a thing. That's just most certainly a thing. Yeah. So basically, waiting for Kingdom Hearts 3. It's gonna be painful, but at least there's a 9 p.m. release where I am. Just nice. And I gotta be very careful when it comes to the internet. Because people are jerks. So yeah. I'm gonna end it here. I don't have much else to say. Plus my voice is getting a bit tired. I want another cup of coffee. Anyway, see y'all later.